Okay, so I just took this table from over here, so I just copied it and I pasted it here and I've called it charts. Now I know we've talked about charts, but we're just going to show you a few formatting tips on charts. So first of all, select the name and then select the number of rentals and hold down Control. I did it wrong. It might be Alt on your computer. I always get it wrong. But select both columns and you'll know if it worked if they're both selected like mine is now. Go Insert. We'll start with a simple bar graph, so simple first one there. So you can change the size of your graph, same as everything else. If you hold down Shift, it'll keep the dimensions. When you change the size of anything, I always recommend holding down Shift because you want to keep the dimensions generally. I move the graph a tiny bit. Okay, so first of all, let's look at these bars. So if you click on the bars, all the bars are highlighted. If you click on the plot area, it's called the plot area, and then you've got an outside area up here, chart area. You've also got the axes area. So let's start here. First of all, let's go to the bars and let's reduce the gap so that they're a bit thicker. They're nicer bars. Let's give them some kind of shadow. So we can go shadow, presets. I like this one. You can play with these if you like, but that's pretty ugly. And we can give it any color in the world we can think of. We can go no color, solid, gradient. I quite like this one. Okay, that looks okay. We need to change our name. Always change the name. Always make it something appropriate. So video shop rentals or video shop sales, whatever it is you want to use. So if you wanted to click a background color and add something here, you could format the plot area. Pretty ugly, ridiculous. That could work, I guess. But let's have a look. There might be something else. That's nice. And you can also format the text areas. So we can make this bigger. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. These names are looking awfully small to me. So let's see what we can do. So we've selected the area. Now we're still on the axes. So right click, format axes. And there should be an option for texture somewhere. Numbers. Text options. There we go. Vertical alignment. Maybe we want I'm looking for something to change the text so it's horizontal because this is, oh no, there we go. I'll just click that. No, that's not working either. See how the text up here is slanted? That is what I would ideally like to do. So it's just a question of working out how on earth to do it. And you'd assume it would be here, custom angle. Look at that. That's better. Now we can see what we're doing. Alright, I'm not sure I like a few things, like how it's changed our colors. I'd probably remove this blue because it looks a bit wonky. But now you know how to do it. We can obviously change the color of the text. We should be able to make the text bigger so we can see it. For some reason we can see both copies of the text, which is really quite weird. Maybe there's two graphs there. No. That's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But you can see how we can style our graph so it can be a little bit better for your presentation. The last thing I want to show you, sorry, I don't know what's going on, my computer is just having a fit, is that at the moment it's not hard, but we could make it easier to see the data. So if you right click on the data, we can add labels. Now, instead of looking across, because we're lazy, the numbers there. We can make these bigger, of course, just by selecting text and increasing the size. We can also change their position just by moving them. Unfortunately, you have to move them all individually, but you get the idea. You might like to do it for your science project or something. But that is essentially how you can format a graph. I just want to show you one more thing which is quite cool if you're doing a pie graph. So let's get rid of this one, and this won't take long. Select, did it again. My kingdom for a mouse. Sick of this trackpad. So here's a pie chart. Same deal, but this is something I like to do if I'm displaying information for a project. You can select everything, and again you can play around with the options. And I would like you to create an individualized pie chart and bar graph right now when I'm finished. But say for example I want this bit of data to stand out. I could, for example, pull it out, and now it stands out. Okay, so maybe I was writing an essay and I wanted to talk about this individual piece of data and what it represents, and I'd obviously style it in a way that it looked a bit different as well if I was going to do that. Similarly, you can if you wanted to change the colors of the gradient, I'd start by removing the points, then individually changing the color of this one, for example, and then individually changing this one. Then you could move them. You could add some more if you really wanted to. You could add a bit of transparency. You can do whatever you like. But yeah, that will make it stand out so that you can talk about it for your assessment. You can also insert a data label. With this data label, so at the moment it says 8. If you wanted this to be a percentage, that'd definitely be a way to do that. So text options, possibly it's here. Let's try something else. Format data point, format data label, edit text. Let's try this one. Format data label. Maybe if we just press this. That's a shame. Oh, there it is, right there. Percentage. So we can get rid of the value and save it as a percentage. That's always better for a graph, a pie graph. But there, what I would like you to do now is to create your own styled pie graph, labeled correctly, and your own styled bar graph, labeled correctly. After this, we're moving into more challenging areas. Good luck.